while, so it's hard to place these things. But yeah, look, I've spoken to Elon and the president about trying to ensure that Elon is publicly supporting and privately supporting the president's agenda. I'll keep on doing that.
So what's your message to artists who say President Trump staged a hostile takeover?
Yeah, there's been talk of maybe renaming the Kennedy Center after the president. We'll certainly ask him about that when he takes the red carpet. And I just want to point out the unprecedented nature.
Well, I don't know which artist said that, but it's not a hostile takeover. He's the president of the United States, and this is the great
as I mentioned,
performing arts center of the nation's capital. It's right for the president to have some role. When I see what
and this one has a
the
different
president
feel.
has done tonight,
One
raising
thing that Rick
$2
Carter
billion,
himself
I
was
believe
kind
is
of
the
on
final number
steroids. It's more
for what we've been able to bring into
than
this
any
great
previous
facility.
event that I've
I
covered
think
here.
it speaks to the power, actually, of having the president on the side of the Kennedy Center. I think it's going to be a great night and it's starting a great season. Thank you all. Have a good night.
That's it. Sorry, guys. That's it. No more questions. Thank you. Sorry, guys. That's it. Thank you.
How you doing?
We're here to make the arch great again.
I'm sorry?
We're here to make the arch great
That's
again.
right, man. Good to see you. Look, it's going to be a great night. We're going to have a great time. And I've never seen Les Mis, but we're excited about it. I know the president's excited about it, too.
You guys look stunning.
Thank
I got to ask you, did you ever go to plays as a kid growing up?
Not a big play guy as a kid growing up. It's not a common experience for me and my family, but it's one of the great things about America is here I am as the Vice President of the United States, seeing this great performance under the leadership of the President and Ambassador Grinnell. I'm excited about it.
Second lady, did you grow up seeing some plays as well?
I did, yes.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
this is an experience that we do together.
She's more of a fan of the performing arts than I have, but it's something that, as all husbands learn, when your wife really likes something, you learn to like it too. See you. Thank you. Take care.
Very, very excited to be here tonight and to be here for Les Mis. So thank you all. Have a great time.
Nice to see you. Thank you. Madam Attorney General, one question from Newsmax, please.
Good to see you all. Thank you.
I was, thank you.
Mr. Secretary, can you give us a sense of why you changed out this committee of vaccines?
You have the
One of those people loaded the vaccine onto the schedule, then sold his products for $186 million. He said there was no water. That congressional committee found that 97% of the people in that committee had undisclosed financial entanglements with the companies whose products they were approving. We want Americans to know that the people on that committee are looking only at public health and don't have financial interests in products that they're recommending.
How does the Kennedy family feel?
Sir, how does it feel to be a Kennedy here?
Excuse me?
Are you making any progress, sir, on baby
We're making lots of progress. We had a panel last week at FDA. We're going to make sure that every mother in America knows that her baby formula is the highest quality that you can possibly get, and that her children are safe, and that we have lots of it so that there's no shortages.
Mr. Secretary, I have a pause myself.
Mr. Secretary, are you excited for the new era of the Kennedy Center under the great new leadership of President Trump and Ambassador Grinnell?
You know, my uncle wanted to make our country the cultural hub of the world. And that's why he had Pablo Gonzalez come to the White House. He had Robert Frost at his inauguration. He appointed Edward L. Murrow to run the USIA because he wanted to project American culture around the world, but also bring the best of American culture here to our country. My uncle always said that nobody remembered the Greeks or the battles they ran. They remembered them because of the architecture, the sculpture, the art, the music, the literature, the poetry, the poems that they had, and the plays that they left behind. and that a civilization ultimately is judged based upon its culture and its art. And we wanted to make sure that American civilization would be judged by that and remembered by that. And President Trump shares that vision and wants to restore this institution to a cultural archetype for the whole world.
Mr. Secretary, what would you think if they renamed it the Trump Kennedy Center?
Just want to get you guys' thoughts on being here tonight. Very historical night here.
We're really, really happy to be here. My uncle was committed to art, literature, music, and poetry. He wanted to make our country the apex of culture around the world. He invited Pablo Casals to the White House and Robert Frost read a poem at his inauguration. He had these wonderful seminars in the White House for art, literature, and music and poetry.
So you gotta look at
Yes,
what's
sir.
available.
1,
We're trying
2,
to bring
3,
big projects
4,
and stuff.
5.
That sell out. We're sold out tonight. We're sold out several nights. The capacity for
1, 2, 3,
coming to see
4,
big shows
5,
like Les Mis is pretty
6,
amazing. So we're going to
7,
continue doing
8,
things like Les Mis.
9,
We've got West Side
10.
Story coming. We've got some of the bigger stuff.
What do you make of some of the actors who may be boycotting tonight? It's being reported.
I'm so sorry. Could you say that one
Who
more time?
reported that?
CNN, Washington Post.
That was a long time ago.
So you're expecting
Watch what happens, and if it doesn't, let's make sure that we get some corrections on it. Okay?
Yeah. Ambassador Pinell,
Yeah.
what are you most excited for in the next few years under your great leadership with President Trump?
Well, look, I think we got to turn this place into a place that celebrates the arts, that has all sorts of different genres here, and that we do it in a financially acceptable way.
Mr. Messer, what would you say to Democrats who might not want to come to the Kennedy Center because President Trump is in charge?
I think you should be tolerant. Thank you. All right.
Good. Hey, we're making the words.
Yes, I hear you. How are you? Okay.
We don't know. You don't know who's sitting next to you. A place where everyone comes together.
I hear you. Thank you. Yes, it's a clear connection. I'm so sorry. What was that? Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, hi, how are you? Okay. All right, so Grinnell first and then us, right? Okay, yeah. He's doing. Okay. He is doing WUSA 9. So I assume they're coming right back over. Okay. Well, if I see him go down in politics, start over. Yeah, of course.
audio or something. Okay. Water?
Oh, I can do it on my phone.
It'll, yeah.
Okay.
She just wants to get editorial.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think it'll time
If he's
out.
too far away. But I suggested running an otter lease so there'd be audio. I mean,
You want some of that?
there you go. You know. I know.
They said to stick my mic out. I don't know. Sorry, are you guys taking our shot or a pool shot? I'll stick my mic out.
Yeah.
Okay, I will stick my shot. Okay, they're good. They're taking the pool shot. They just need me to stick the mic out. My head is big. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, now I do. Okay.
Hi, good evening, Greta. What an exciting night. It's an honor to be here at the highly esteemed Kennedy Center. But the Trump administration said in recent years there had been financial mismanagement. There's a proposal to inject about $250 million to address deferred maintenance. We also know the president has talked about reforming the lineup, taking out woke programs. We're standing by now for President Donald Trump. First Lady Melania Trump's arrival that is expected momentarily. The traveling pool just arrived on scene here, Greta. The former leadership at the Kennedy Center, though, they have pushed back on the claims that there was financial mismanagement. We've also heard of some far left, progressive, we should say, performers pulling out. So there is a major shakeup here, and we're standing by for comments from the president. That there are a number of donors who are stepping forward to pitch in and make a difference.
They just heard over $10 million tonight for the center itself. We want to bring it back and bring it back better than ever. As you know, it needs a little help from the standpoint of age and fitness, but it's going to be fantastic.
Are you feeling it better?
Serious subject. It could happen.
Mr. President, can you come to the pool camera, sir?
I believe so. As far as I know, yes.
Mr. President, Corey Lewandowski says that you love Les Mis. Is it true?
Say it. We'll see what happens.
Mr. President.
We're going to meet with a lot of people. I look forward to it. Say it.
Mr. President, is there more concern that...
Oh, I would say every one of them is just great. It's truly great. Great talent, and this is a great production tonight. First class.
Mr. President, can you tell us about the reception?
Well, we're going to save the Kennedy Center. We're going to make it incredible. We have all the funding. We raised a lot tonight. We'll put in a lot of money to bring it back to the highest level, higher than it was ever before. It's got great sound. You know, the bones are very good. The sound is great. You'll see that tonight. But we look forward to doing a real job.
Mr. President.
It's a great honor, actually, to be chairman. They asked me to be chairman. That's a great. I have a lot of other things going, I will tell you, but it's a great honor to be chairman.
Mr. President, a question from Newsmax.
I hope you got a good one. She's got a good one. I bet she does.
Mr. President, what would you say to Democrats who don't want to come here because you're in charge?
Well, if they need it, we're going to be there, absolutely. If we weren't there, if we didn't bring in the National Guard and the Marines, you would probably have a city that was burning to the ground, just like it was a number of months ago with the housing. You would have had a big problem there. We weren't there. In fact, the police chief said so much. If you look at what his statements were, he said, we're very lucky to have had that. If we weren't there, that city would have been burning to the ground, would be burning right now.
Mr. President, what do you think of actors who are thinking about boycotting tonight?
Of unrest, what are you prepared to do, sir?
About what?
If this turns, well, the protests have spread down to 16 cities across the U.S.
Well, I don't know. That's what you're saying. Do I believe you? I don't think so.
Well, I got that.
I can tell you that what we have is a situation in Los Angeles that was caused by gross incompetence. They didn't have the police to handle it. The police were asking us to come in. They were very late. We had to go in to save a lot of ICE officers, as you know, who were held up. They were holed up in a building, and they were being attacked. And the military went in, the National Guard went in and got them. The police weren't able, unfortunately, to move fast enough, but we moved fast enough. And while we were there, we stayed there, and we stopped tremendous destruction and death. We stopped death. We stopped a lot. And if you look at them cutting up and breaking up the sidewalk and getting it and using it as a weapon, did you see that with the curb? Where they're breaking up the curb, nice curb, and they break it up with a hammer because they couldn't get the bricks in. You know, they got caught with the bricks. We have them under arrest. They were bringing bricks in to throw at our police, to throw at our National Guard, and to throw at people. and they couldn't get them in because we got them. And after we got them, they went and took a big hammer and started breaking up the concrete sidewalk and curb, and they were handing it out to people to throw and drop on cars. You saw what they did, the damage. So if you don't do something about that, there's something very wrong. We are going to have law and order in our country. Thank you.
Mr. President, potentially boycotting tonight.
Who is?
It's been reported that some actors may be boycotting tonight.
I couldn't care less, honestly. All I do is run the country well. The economic numbers, you saw them today, they're setting records. We took $88 billion in tariffs in 2 months, far beyond what anybody expected. There's no inflation. People are happy. People are wealthy. The country is getting back to strength again. That's what I care about. And we're going to have a safe country. We're not going to have what would have happened in Los Angeles. Remember, if I wasn't there, if I didn't act quickly on that, Los Angeles would be burning to the ground right now. Thank you.
Mr. President, could you provide an update on Iran?
How excited are you for the new era under your great new leadership with Ambassador Grinnell?
Well, he's a great guy. Rick is great. He's always done well for me. And the new era right here is going to be something. The bones of this facility are incredible. We're going to make it really great.
How excited are you for Les Mis today?
Tonight's going to be great.
Mr. President, what would you say to Democrats? What would you say to Democrats who don't want to come because you're in charge?
Say it again.
Yes, a question from Newsmax. Could you provide an update on Iran? We're hearing reports that U.S. personnel are being moved out of the region within striking distance.
Well, they are being moved out because it could be a dangerous place, and we'll see what happens. But they are been. We've given notice to move out, and we'll see what happens.
Is there anything that could be done to dial the temperature down in the region?
They can't have a nuclear weapon. Very simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon. We're not going to allow that.
Mr. President, a question on the musical. Have you seen the musical before, and do you identify more with Jean Valjean or Javert?
Oh, that's a tough one. That last part of that question, that's tough, I think. You better answer that one, honey. I don't know. I've seen it. We've seen it a number of times. It's fantastic. I thought it was just about our first choice. So that's what we got. And we have others coming. Other great ones are coming.
Phantom of the Opera.
What are you looking forward to tonight?
Why are you so quiet, Jeff?
My question is on trade. Would you be willing to extend the deadline for trade talks with these countries?
I would, but I don't think we're going to have that necessity. We made a great deal with China. We're very happy with it. We have everything we need, and we're going to do very well with it, and hopefully they are too. That was a very big one. As you know, we did with the UK, and I tell you what, we're rocking in terms of deals. Now, at a certain point, we're just going to send letters out, and I think you understand that, saying this is the deal. You can take it or you can leave it. You don't have to use it. You don't have to shop in the United States, as I said. So at a certain point, we'll do that. We're not quite ready. We're dealing with quite a few countries, and they all want to make a deal with us, every one of them.
Who's next? Who are you expecting to get a deal with next?
Well, we're dealing with Japan. We're dealing with South Korea. We're dealing with a lot of them. We're dealing with about 15 countries, but as you know, we have about 150 plus, and you can't do that. So we're going to be sending letters out in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, to countries, telling them what the deal is, like I did with EU.
And are you happy with the EU right now? You were unhappy with them about 10 days ago.
Well, I'll let you know in about a week. They do want to negotiate, I will say that. Thank you.
Mr. President, we're making the theater great again, aren't we?
We are, Brian, and I'm glad you're here.
Glad to be here. What does it mean to be here tonight? Now this is under your administration, you're bringing class back, the golden era of theater.
We have a golden era here in the country. You see the trade numbers came in today, they're fantastic. The deficit was cut in half over a period of 2 months. We cut what they tried to destroy our country. They were destroying our country, and you saw how good the numbers were. We took in $88 billion in tariffs in 2.5 months, and that we didn't even start yet. No, we're bringing the country back fast, and I'm very proud to have helped Los Angeles survive. Los Angeles right now, if we didn't do what we did, would be burning to the ground. And that's not over yet. You know, these are radical left lunatics that you're dealing with, and they're tough, they're smart, they're probably paid, many of them, as you know, they're professionals. When you see them chopping up concrete because the bricks got captured, they're chopping up concrete and they're using that as a weapon. That's pretty bad. And thank you very much for your question.
You're a New Yorker. You've been to a million theaters. Do you remember your first theater production that you attended?
Well, a long time ago. I would say maybe it was Cats.
Cats. First Lady, do you remember your first theater production you saw?
Phantom of the Opera.
Ah.
Are you a Les Mis fan, Mrs. Trump? I
That
am.
was great.
I am.
We're going to munch on some popcorn and Diet Coke tonight while we watch the production.
I think so. I think I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Press.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Well, it's a prize. Oh, the parade's going to be incredible. It will be a parade like we haven't had in many, many decades here. And it's a celebration of our country. It's a celebration of the Army, actually. You know, the Army was 1 year earlier than the Union itself, than the founding of our country itself. 1 year. And it's going to be a celebration of the Army and the military. It's going to be incredible. I tell you, we have the greatest weapons in the world and the greatest people in the world. It's going to be a big parade.
You guys look amazing tonight. You guys look amazing.
It's going to be great.
Thank you.